This chain is loose and the chainsaw needs to be adjusted. This is actually a new chain and I installed it fairly tight because I knew it would stretch rapidly, being a brand new chain. So to tighten up the chain, we need to clean this little space here on both sides, as well as you can anyway. So you don't want to suck in a bunch of sawdust. Probably more care than I normally do, but at some point you got to loosen up the whole bar, take these two bolts off. In fact, let's do the whole thing. Normally I just loosen these, but they got to be loose enough where the bar can slide. And then clockwise to tighten. And then guide it back in the track. And again, I'm going to let it suck all the chain in. I'm not going to, someone's going to leave it sag 3/8 of an inch. No, you won't be able to pull it 3/8 maybe, but not sagging. It's okay if it sags 3/8 after it's run a while, but if you put it on that way, it's going to be loose in no time. Dangerous. It's quite dangerous when it's loose. And then I'll tighten these back up. And I'm done. Now, once in a while, you need to take the whole thing apart, especially if you're going to change the chain, obviously. But even not changing the chain, maybe I just want to check things out. I'll loosen this up a little bit before I go here. Nice generous amount. And I'll wiggle this off. It may not come readily. Make sure the brake isn't set or you won't get it off. There we go. It was locked. That's why it wouldn't come off. Jeez. So even though I've tried to be clean, you can see a little bit of stuff creeps in here. It's kind of a pain. So I'll clean this off. And I'll clean this part off. But the important thing is these oil passages right here and here. And they follow this little path on top here. You got to keep all this clean. If it gets plugged up, it won't flow right. It won't get enough oil. So you want this clean. You want this interface clean. And the hole that's going to match up, the hole that's going to be on top, needs to be cleaned out too. This is plugged up with sawdust. This one's pretty free because I've been using this side. And a little steel wire, like maybe from a twisty tie, or if you got some spray of some sort, you might want to just... And I'm going to use this hole again. And bar is right side up. But you should flip your bar every now and then. Pretty much every time you service it, you should flip the bar. I don't have a little wire to clean that up right now, though. But you don't have to flip it real often, but you have to flip it enough where half the wear is upside down, pretty much. And now I'll try to get this chain back on. And I'll do that by getting one side in the track. And clockwise, I'll pull the slack out of it. At least most of it now, so it doesn't drop out again when I throw the cover on. And a good time to get all the crud out of your cover. I just did this last time, so it's not too bad. Pick all this loose stuff out. There's a lot of saws have a break here. You need to keep the stuff from accumulating and gunking up around it. Need to keep this clean. Top oil passage clean. And I'll wiggle the blade a little. Get these hand tight. So these are not super hand tight, mildly hand tight. I'm going to recheck my tension. That's about where I want it right now. It's a little bit tight, but like I said, this chain is going to stretch. Tighten it up just a smidge. Yeah, that's good. That's what I want right now. Snug chain. It will stretch. And that's it. Tighten it all up. Back and forth. Make sure my chain catcher's out there. That's it. It's very much the same on this saw, except that the adjuster's here. But it works almost identical. Mostly, if you have to take the chain off the bar and getting it back in the groove and lined up and back in, that takes a while, as you can see. But just taking the cover off and cleaning things, that doesn't take any time at all. 5 minutes. You can clean up everything, and you can even clean under the bar, just take it off partly and clean under there a bit without taking the chain off, completely. You can't really clean it well without taking the chain off, I suppose. Don't forget the oil passage, and really nothing to it. So the tensioner is similar but different. It's inside the cover, not the housing. Some might not like that so much, but it should work. Now you can see I've got a couple pieces pressed in here. So, got to keep it clean. Stuff gets in there and it ruins your clamping pressure. So I got to clean everything up and mount the chain back loosely. And I'll be right back after I do that. Okay, here's now where I got to get this thing engaged. Okay, it's engaged, I believe. So really it's not a whole lot different than having it built into the saw rather than the cover. It may even be a serviceable thing, if it's in the cover you can replace that easier than a saw housing or something.